Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in once again to Queen Ahmadiyyah TV, More Than Meets the Third Eye. So as you're coming in, please make sure you go ahead and like and share this video. All right? Go ahead and like and share this video. Now, after this video is concluded, I'm going to be going live again at 5:15. Okay, so I'm going to have to wrap this one up because I'm going to be going live again at 5:15 for those with the memberships. Okay, going to be doing a special presentation for those with the memberships. All right, pay attention. Okay, so with that all being said, let me get my stuff up on the screen here. Hello, Silent D, Juju B is in the house, Claudette, Mr. Hotel. All right, I saw Khalid in here. Okay, Gail's in the house. All right, Terry. Okay, so with that all being said, shout out to everyone in the chat and everyone tuned into the Queen. So let's go ahead and get into it. So I have a PowerPoint presentation. You all know that I love to do those PowerPoints. I see my fan pages in the house. All right. Mr. Hotel says, shout out to our esoteric philosopher. Oh, you're welcome, beloved. Thank you kindly. So anyway, Sister Moon is in the house. All right, Kathy B. And so listen, Emperor Rex, Cancer 2184 is here. Okay. And so let's go ahead and get it started because like I said, I'm going to be going live again right after this. And I don't want to roll over into the next time slot. So we're going to be talking about different types of spiritual healing. Okay. Talking specifically about 5 different types and also about authentic spiritual healing and some people who are fraudsters. All right. And they clearly come to grift. Pay attention. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen. Likes up, everyone. Please get the likes up. Thank you in advance. Okay. Make sure you all can see that. Okay. There we go. Thank you, Terry. Terry said Queen looks pretty in red. Thank you, beloved. Okay, so here we go. Let's get into it. 5 types of spiritual healing. And so at the roots of most chronic physical, mental, and emotional illnesses is a basic wound, a lurking spirit malady. Now, the basic philosophy that accompanies most spiritual healing traditions is that when we are disconnected from the divine, i.e. the Most High, the divine source, we're severed from true well-being. See, this is why you should be having conversations with the Most High. I talk to the Most High every day, not just when I'm praying, but I literally sit and talk with the Most High when I'm meditating or when I'm just spending quiet time alone and by myself. When I'm outside getting in tune with nature, I speak and talk to the Most High. That's what we all should be doing. Okay, pay attention. Not only when you're praying and not when things are going bad and going wrong and then you need the Most High to come and save you. You should be talking to the Most High at all times. He would love to hear from you. Pay attention. Okay, so since the divine is the source of our energy, our life force, when we are alienated from it, we experience numerous illnesses that manifest in endless forms. And the purpose of these illnesses is to help us reconnect with our divine inner center to point the way back to wholeness. Now, this is where spiritual healing comes into the picture. You see, it's a path of healing, of reuniting us with our true spiritual nature. But not all approaches to spiritual healing are healthy. In fact, it's wise that we practice discernment with caution. Okay? Remember we talked about discernment. See, everyone has discernment. Some people just haven't tapped into it. They don't understand it, and they definitely don't use it. We need to look out for ourselves because there is the possibility of being used by so-called spiritual healers who prey upon people by false ideas. You know, like people trying to sell you magic keys to kingdoms to which they don't even own. People trying to give you fake ATM cards and telling you that this will make you get money. You can manifest money without having a fake ATM card, okay? It's called the art of visualization. It's called the art of manifestation. You can manifest things without using tools that someone wants to sell you. And if in fact you do want to use tools just to help you remember, to focus your energy on these things such as vision boards, well, you can do those things by yourself. And why would you pay money for a fake debit card or any of these things, spring water, miracle water from Peter Popoff and all that? Why would you even waste your money on those things when you can clearly get those things yourself for free? You can make a vision board and put the things you want on there and look at it every day and focus your thoughts and energy. Remember, our thoughts are electromagnetic energy. And as long as we focus our energy on certain specific things, they will absolutely manifest. So you can do these things for yourself. You see, you don't need anyone else to give you tools to do so. All they need to give you is the wisdom and the information so that you can help yourself. But let me continue. So this is where spiritual healing comes into the picture. In the path of healing, of reuniting us with our true spiritual nature. But not all approaches to healing, spiritual healing, are healthy. In fact, it's wise to practice discernment and caution. Have to be careful. Don't be going to those psychics who have the crystal balls and they're charging you $150 for a reading. And then they tell you, oh, I have another door that I could open. Why don't you come back and bring more money next time and I'll open that door for you and give you more information? That's just a grift. Pay attention. Now, we need to look out for ourselves because there's a possibility, as I said, of being used in so-called spiritual healers. They prey upon those with false and give you false ideas. Now, spiritual healing is the practice and experience of restoring, harmonizing, and balancing our spirit or soul. Spiritual healing is also seen as a transcendental experience of reconnecting with our true nature. Now, as author and teacher Shakti Gawan writes, she says spiritual healing occurs as we begin to consciously reconnect with our essential being. You see, the wise, loving, powerful, creative entity that we are at our core. You see the energy from within, from what comes within yourself. And when you want to engage in spiritual healing and you're trying to prepare yourself, you have to do it mentally, physically, and spiritually. You need to get rid of toxins, and I mean not just the toxic foods and drinks that you consume, but toxic people in your environment. You have to do some spiritual cleansing. You have to do some spiritual spring cleaning. You have to take out the trash in your spirituality. Okay, because these things only serve to hinder you and to just keep you down and bound to bad habits and practices, and they won't help you. They won't be beneficial to you as you are trying to heal spiritually. Now, for many people, spiritual healing is a crucial part of the spiritual awakening journey. By revealing and soothing the wounds that other modalities, such as psychology or nutrition, fail to heal, a doorway is open to deeper inner spiritual alchemy. Now, in other words, spiritual healing can offer us the chance to grow and transform in a way that no other path can. This is absolutely true. There are things that you learn about, things that you begin to experience, things that you begin to interact with, such as spirit guides, right? For example, the ancestors. You see, when you're not spiritually in tune, you don't tap into those things. You may see an ancestor. They may come to you in your dreams, or you may see them like literally standing right in front of you. You may see orbs of light and you get afraid and frightened and run off somewhere because you're not spiritually in tune and you're thinking this is something wicked, something nefarious. But it could be your ancestor. It could be the Most High sending you a sign or a symbol. It could be your spirit guide. Some people call them guardian angels. Okay. But at the end of the day, when you start getting spiritually in tune, you actually start to raise your vibrations and your levels of frequency and your consciousness. And that's when you start to open that third eye, activating that pineal gland, and you'll see things a whole lot differently. No other practice of healing is going to do those things for you other than spiritual healing. Now, many sensitive and receptive beings, such as empaths or old souls, are drawn to spiritual healing. Like myself, I am an old soul and I'm an empath. Now, some even become spiritual healers themselves. For many spiritual seekers, spiritual healing becomes a part of the spiritual or their spiritual awakening path. Everyone, be sure to get those likes up, beloveds. Be sure to get the likes up. Now, there are many different approaches to spiritual healing. For example, some New Age healing practitioners focus only on bringing balance to the etheric or non physical energy field of the human body. Shamanic healers focus on restoring the spirit and curing lost souls. And speaking of that, that's what we're going to be talking about. This is what we're going to be talking about on the next live. For those who have the memberships, we're going to be talking about, that's the topic, shamanic healing. Okay. So shamanic healers focus on restoring the spirit and curing soul loss. And other holistic healers focus on unifying the body, heart, mind, and spirit. Even psychologists and therapists are starting to incorporate spiritual healing into their work, such as those operating in the depth and the transpersonal fields of psychology. Now, see, this wasn't what they did years ago. Physical healing of the body, that's one of the first things. The second is emotional healing of the heart. The third is mental healing of the mind. The fourth is spiritual healing of the spirit or soul. And the fifth is holistic healing of the body, the heart, mind, and the spirit. Now, the type of spiritual healing that you'll need will depend on the following question. What is your main struggle in life right now? Do you have more than one pressing issue? Depending on your answers, you'll be able to determine what type of spiritual healing modality you need. Some people may be suffering from stress due to finances. Some people may be going through something in their relationship, their marriage. Some people may be having issues with raising their children. They may have unruly children. They may have a child who is sick. They may be going through an illness themselves. Okay, you may be suffering from some type of depression, but whatever you're going through, that will determine what type of spirituality or spiritual healing that you're in need of. Now, for instance, if you suffer from chronic pain or for which no other methods work, and also depression, you would need physical and mental healing. Ideally, some kind of holistic healer would benefit you the most. Now, if on the other hand, you only have one issue, like an unshakable sense of grief from a lost relationship, seek out healers who specialize in emotional healing. Common types of spiritual healing include chakra healing, crystal or herbal remedies, breath work, where they teach you how to breathe. Yoga has a lot of breathing exercises. Reiki, traditional medicine. The Ayurveda is a Chinese medicine, but they also do that over in India. I was going to travel to New Delhi some years ago, and they're real big into that over there, Ayurveda. Okay, also aromatherapy, meditation, visualization techniques, and so on. Now, if you're interested in spiritual healing, it's likely that you feel something fundamental is missing from your life. Some people are able to verbalize this feeling, while others just feel a stark, bone chilling absence of something vital. When a person is able to pinpoint what's wrong, usually they discover that it's rooted in the soul. It could be something that you went through that was traumatic, something that you held inside, that you didn't, feel comfortable talking about to anyone. And so you just kept it to yourself. Those things build up and they cause us tension and stress. And they sometimes start to chip away at our soul. They start to kill our spirit. Some people go to jobs every day where they're just not happy. they're ridiculed. Nothing's ever good enough. Some people are like this in relationships. But these things, if you go through it long enough without finding a remedy or getting yourself out of the situation, all of the negativity compiled with other things that you're going through, that can just start to really just kill your spirit. Now, I'm a lost soul, they might think to themselves, or my soul is broken. But this is a fundamental misunderstanding. Yes, something is certainly wrong, but it's not that the soul is broken, which is impossible from an objective standpoint. It's that they've lost touch with their soul. You know how you hear people sometimes say, I'm losing myself, I've lost myself, because they get so caught up with the person they're in a relationship sometimes. And they start doing everything that person wants to do. And everything's all about this person, and there's nothing being done for them. And they become so selfless with others. But sometimes it's okay to be a little selfish, okay? In moderation. Sometimes you have to put yourself first. Because remember, as I told you before, if you can't take care of you, if you don't take care of you, then how are you going to take care of the ones that you love? Now, in other words, they're living in a lifeless, colorless world that lacks the joy and succulence that the soul brings. And here's the thing, I want you all to pay attention, because joy and happiness are not the same. And some people say, well, joy and happiness is the same. No, it's not. And I'm going to tell you why. Because you see, happiness is something that someone can give to you and they can take it away. You know, have you ever heard someone say, I'm not going to let you steal my joy? Well, you see, that's the thing, because joy comes from within. It comes from your inner self, from the very bowels of your being. When you are joyful, like they say, make a joyful noise unto the Lord. They say that in church, right? You're within yourself. You find a happiness so deep within, nobody can take it. Okay. And that's called joy. You see, happiness can come and go. Someone that you're in a relationship with, they can be making you happy, giving you gifts, treating you nice and respectful, taking you out, buying you all types of things or whatever. And that makes you happy. And they gave you that happiness. But that same person can go out here and lie and cheat and just treat you disrespectfully. And then you're sad. So they can take happiness, but nobody can steal your joy. That comes from within. Now, so the question isn't how to heal your soul, because the soul is divine and incapable of being fractured. You can experience this while meditating, but how to find your soul. You see, sometimes you get lost in other people and other things going on and you lose yourself. And so you have to come back to your inner core, to the very soul of your being, the fiber of your being. But nobody can just destroy your soul. You may feel like it sometimes, you know, because you feel hurt, traumatized by things that have gone on, but no one can fracture your soul. Okay. Now, informed spiritual healers, i.e., those with understanding the nature of the soul, and spiritual healing resources out there, such as, you know, this website that I like to visit, where they talk about shamanic healing, they talk about Reiki, they talk about yoga, they just talk about the stones and crystals, they talk about all different types of things that people can engage in when you're trying to go on your spiritual journey and you're trying to seek spiritual healing within yourself. But many people have different methods. And the host on that website actually talks about a myriad of methods. Now, one thing is inner child work, shadow work, soul retrieval, solitude and introspection, meditation and mindfulness exercises, connecting with spirit animals and spirit guides, spending time in nature. This is absolutely what we should be doing. We should be spending time in nature. I tell you this all the time. We should always be trying to get in tune with nature. Go outside and, you know, smell the fresh grass when you've mowed the lawn. Go out and gaze at the sun, hug the trees, take off your shoes and socks and get grounded. Get in tune with nature. And the more you become a spiritual person and become so in tune, you'll find that you start to vibrate at the same frequency as the Schumann resonance, which I tell you all about all the time. You'll vibrate at the same frequency as the Earth's crust. It's important to be educated and use spiritual discernment here. Now, not all spiritual healing modalities are equal, you see. Not all healers or teachers are in it for your best interest. Let's talk about it. And sometimes our motivations for spiritual healing are all wrong. You see, sometimes we want to get healed, but for the wrong reasons. And sometimes the people we go to will be giving us the wrong things. And that's how you get caught up with people who are just trying to make money, who are just trying to make you stay attached to them, rather than giving you the tools that you need and the information that you need so that you can practice things for yourself and you can learn how to do these things by yourself and for yourself, rather than always being codependent on someone else for your own happiness and spiritual healing. Now, the dark side of spiritual healing. Now, there's a reason why no one talks about the dark side of spiritual healing. The first reason is most people aren't even aware that there is a dark side. And if they are aware, well, the second thing is they're uncomfortable and they just don't want to face it. You see, some people do not want to face the truth because why? Well, they can't handle the truth. Now, issue number one is spiritualized resistance. You see, the first dark twin is what I call spiritualized resistance. What does spiritualized resistance mean, you may ask? Well, I'm so glad you did. It means that sometimes people use spiritual healing as an excuse to get rid of certain feelings and memories and experiences that they've had. You may have some things that you just want to put out of your memory. But see, you can't do that. You have to get to the root cause of the problem that brought you to that. Now, what's wrong with trying to banish or get rid of what we go through? It's a form of resistance. That's what's wrong. Resistance can lead to tremendous suffering, anxiety, depression, anger, resentment, bitterness, or even worse. Desperately trying to heal, now that can actually exacerbate your unhappiness and deepen the resistance to what's happening, thereby preventing you from actually healing. And here's the thing. You see, some people, when they're going through stuff, they'll try to just block it out, act like it's not there. And they think that, getting involved with spirituality will just make it all go away. No, you have to do the work. I always tell you have to do the work. And I say you have to do the work, not someone else. Someone can counsel you. Someone can give you the tools and the information, but the initial assignment is up to you. And once you know the assignment, then you have to complete it. No one can do it for you. Don't think that going to someone and paying them all this money every time you see them is going to help you. Okay, because when it comes to that'll help you mentally. If you go to a psychologist, with mental health issues, but mental health is not the same as spiritual health. They're different. And so when you're working on your spiritual health, that's something you're going to have to work on for yourself. You can get advice from others, but the initial assignment is yours to complete. Now, it is important for us to understand that true spiritual healing is about facing, acknowledging, exploring, and integrating what we're going through. It's not about trying to escape reality. See, that becomes problematic. When you try to escape reality, this is one of the things that leads people to drug and substance abuse because they don't want to face reality. I was talking to a young woman some years ago, and I was trying to advise her on some things that she could do to improve her life and get away from negative patterns of thinking. And she basically, she had a drug problem. And I was talking to her about the drug problem and telling her how detrimental it was and how she needed to get professional help. I told her she needed to go to rehab. You're not going to be able to stop this by yourself because every time you've tried, you failed. So now it's time to try something different. And she said to me when I asked her, why do you use the drugs? What led you to use the drugs in the first place? Was it for fun, recreation, or were you trying to, get your mind off of something? And she literally told me it was because she wanted to escape reality. And I said to her, the thing about that is this. People can do drugs and they may escape reality while the drug is in effect. But once the high comes down, reality's still sitting right there in your face. It's not going anywhere. So that's not the answer ever. Okay. You have to do the work, and that's not it. Now, the second issue, dark spiritual teachers. The second dark twin is perpetuated by spiritual healers and practitioners who are aware, either on a conscious or unconscious level, of the first dark twin of spiritual healing. You see, these teachers are aware of the addictive quality of the push and pull game of internal self-improvement. And you see, what they do is they use that for their own self-gain. You see, this goes back to the 48 laws of power. If you know anything about the 48 laws of power, and if you don't, please look it up. But the 27th law of power is where people prey upon those who have a need to believe in something. And then they prey on these people, telling them what they want to hear and making these people, in fact, codependent on them, making these people think that their healing, that their happiness, and that their wealth all comes from this person. And so when they're doing that, you're just getting caught up in the game. Now you're codependent on this person. So what if this person leaves? Then what do? Everything starts with you and everything ends with you when it comes to your spirituality. No one else can fix it for you. You have to fix it for yourself. But see, there's people who are in it for self-gain, and they really don't care about the people getting spiritually healed. Because here's the thing. If they actually were going to heal you, you would not keep coming back to them. So they just give you a little bit here. It's like a mouse, you're teasing a mouse with cheese. You give them a little crumb, and then the mouse comes back, and they give them another little crumb. They just keep coming back and coming back. It's like a cat that comes to your house on the front porch, and you put food out for it. And then every day you go out there, and the cat's sitting there waiting for food. See, that's what they do. They string you along. But the real spiritual journey and the real spiritual healing, that's what you do. You do the work for yourself. So it's a sad thing to behold. It's prevalent in people who believe they must pay big bucks, pay attention, to manifest their desires, to keep their vibration high, and basically accumulate more and more as if who they are and what they have isn't already enough. You see, when does this getting and being more actually end? Well, it never does. You see, people who fool you like this with these tactics, they always come back with another grift. This week it's keys. The next week it's a secret money in the womb. The next week it's a fake ATM card. The next week it's spring water. The next time it's oil. They've always got something to sell you, is all I'm saying. None of the stuff ever gets you to where you're going. It just keeps coming and coming, and their pockets get fatter and fatter while your soul and spirit seem to feel more depleted. Okay? It's an eternal cycle that leads to suffering. Okay? And that's just what it is. That's just what it is. Now, then, of course, you have the more sinister breed of spiritual teachers who appear divine and enlightened on the surface, but are raging megalomaniacs underneath. You see, just the lies and the deceit run rampant. So, Mr. Hotel said clearly nefarious. Okay, so let me pause the share right there for a moment, because I want to show you all a video of exactly what I'm talking about. And you've seen this before, I'm sure.
Real people with real needs are receiving real life-changing miracles when they use the miracle spring water.
My husband brought the spring water up and I drank it. And I'm speaking today. I had no speech, totally paralyzed, and now I'm testifying.
You had sent me the water and I used it. You told me I was going to get a check for $7,000. Sure enough, I got a check in the mail. It was exactly $7,000.
This faith tool will help you to see liberation from the bondage of debt. It's free. I want to send it to you. No obligation. Call me now.
And when you told me to anoint my checkbook yesterday, I received a letter for over $45,000 that my second mortgage was paid off. Get the spring water, drink the spring water, or whatever you need to do with it. It really works.
Release your faith now by calling for your free packet of Miracle Spring Water. It's free just for calling.
Okay, so a whole load of BS, basically. And here's the thing. My question is, why wasn't Peter Popoff ever arrested for that fraudulent stuff? I mean, they did press charges against Miss Cleo for being a fake psychic, right? And pretending to be Jamaican, and she wasn't. You know, that's what they did with her. But Peter Popoff is still in his grift. Now he's selling alabaster oil. Okay. And someone on ScrewTube is also selling some type of oil in a little small container that's nearly an inch long and selling for $154. I'm just saying, you don't need to purchase these oils. I've told you all numerous of times that there's an oil that's secreted from the colostrum within your brain. Once a month, you can raise this oil, okay? If you're eating a clean diet, if you're being healthy, high vibrational, abstaining from certain things like drinking alcohol, you can't be doing drugs and smoking cigarettes, any of those negative things, and you have to be abstaining from sex for at least some time frame, right? And so with that all being said, you can raise this oil yourself. This is an oil given to you for free by the Most High. So you need not go and buy Peter Popoff's alabaster oil, okay? Or this other oil that's being sold for $154. I'm just saying, it's all a grift. So with that all being said, I'm going to go back to the share. Everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance. And so a true spiritual teacher will always give your power back to you. Okay? That's why when I teach you things about spirituality and things to do for yourself, I tell you to do the things. I tell you to say affirmations, not incantations. Okay, that's witchcraft. But I tell you to say your positive affirmations. I tell you to meditate. I tell you to visualize. I tell you to do those things. I don't keep telling you to come to me, and charging you for these things, because that's not what it's all about. Now, but a false spiritual teacher will not only parade around wearing your codependency like a crown, but will also actively encourage it. They will purport to have the power to heal all your issues and provide you with the one true path towards enlightenment, illumination, self-realization, or oneness. But you have to go through them to get it, is what they'll teach you. And if you believe them, you'll be ensnared in a dangerous web of believing that someone outside of you can offer you salvation. No, that comes from within. The kingdom of God is within you. Not these fake prophets and prophetesses who proclaim to heal people and all of that and raise the dead. What is authentic spiritual healing? Well, healing doesn't mean the damage never existed. It means the damage no longer controls our lives. That's what Akshay Dubey says. And he's a spiritual healer, an advisor. Now, when spiritual healing is used as a way to avoid, deny, suppress, and disown our issues through spiritualized resistance, we are abusing its potential. And when spiritual healing is used as a dangling carrot by unethical and unwise spiritual teachers, then it is being desecrated. Okay, so people like Peter Popoff and Wig, they're desecrating it. That's what they're doing. They're giving it a bad name. And when they take spiritual practices and mix it with black magic and all of that, and tell people to do incantations rather than affirmations, and when they tell people to conjure rather than to channel, that's just all the wrong path to be going down. Now, what is authentic spiritual healing? Well, true spiritual healing is about facing, acknowledging, exploring, and integrating what we're going through. It's not about trying to escape our reality. So when it comes to spiritual healing, please be mindful of these traps and practice healthy caution. Critical thinking skills and radical self-honesty are so vital in this day and age, because a lot of people are getting swept up in this wave of grifting that's going on. Because you see, as people, want to get caught up with raising their levels of consciousness, and they have something on YouTube where they say the conscious community, but the so-called conscious community to me is unconscious. Okay, most of those people that claim to be the conscious community, they're just grifters trying to make a fast buck. They don't care about your mental, spiritual, or physical health. They don't really care about that. They're really not even practitioners of these things. What they've done is they've just taken other people's words, and now they're just regurgitating them to you, and at the same time grifting at the same, in the process. That's what it is. Okay, not all of them, but most. Now, resisting your reality, even in a spiritual way, will only serve to deepen your suffering. The only way out is through. You need to go to the core and roots of your issues in order to heal them. So, with that all being said, Natasha said, bye, wig. With that all being said, I hope you all got something out of that. And I hope this helps you, to ask yourself, what is the main problem or issue that you're having? What kind of issues are you going through that are the most bothersome, that need to be addressed more so? And then you can pretty much decipher what type of spiritual healing that you need. But also remember, along with spiritual healing comes spiritual cleansing. And you have to cleanse all the negativity out of your environment. Remember, you can't live a positive and productive life when you continue to engage with negative people and staying in negative spaces and places. You have to raise your vibrations, and sometimes that will entail a raising away from other people. You can love them from a distance, okay? You can love people from a distance, all right? So with that all being said, listen, I just want to tell you guys that I have 2 more consultations to give away for Mr. Hotel and his father. They bought the consultations for people. I'm sorry, no. I have 1 left to give away. I'm sorry. But I have 2 more of the books, the ebooks to give away. The ebook, How to Transition to a Vegan Lifestyle. Yeah, I have 2 more of those to give away. So send me your emails. Oh, you're welcome, beloved. You're welcome. Send me your emails if you want those books. All right. And I gave 1 away for free to someone myself. Okay. So with that all being said, Nubian Cutie says, how can I get one? Well, actually, I will pay you for your time, but thank you for explaining this. Everything we need is already inside of us. That's right, Tiny. Absolutely, beloved. Nubian Cutie, send me an email. And here's the things. Let me remind you all that the Royal Vegan Cookbook is still for sale. For those of you who are not members, if you want to purchase that, it's $24.99. For members who don't have the self-elevating or the higher frequency memberships, if you have memberships below that, you can get it for $12.99. And then also for the what is the other one? Transforming into a healthy lifestyle, or transitioning to a vegan lifestyle. That one is for $10. Okay. And so if you're one of the people that is a member who wants to get it for free, I would suggest you send an email, because I have 2 more left. Like I said, Mr. Hotel and his lovely father paid for 4 people to get one. And so I've given away 2 of them from what they paid for. And then I gave away 1 to someone myself. And then so there's 2 more left that I'll give away. All right. So with that all being said, Kenya said transition. Yes. Purchase both, family. Thank you, beloved. Absolutely. Okay. So listen, I hope you all got something out of this. I'm going to conclude the broadcast because the next live is about to start for the members only. All right. So, and for those of you who don't have memberships are, you can get them for as low as $2.99. Okay. That's not even $1 a week. And then you have memberships for $6.99, $24.99, and $49.99. And with each membership, you get different perks. So all you have to do is you can click on the link and it'll tell you what perks you get in all of that. Okay. So I'm going to conclude the broadcast. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Each one, teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember to keep the Most High first in your lives, beloveds. And all of the members, please stay tuned for this next live. Peace.